Hi, I'm Michelle Norris with NPR's All Things Considered, and I'm here today with Susan Crown of the Susan Crown Exchange, and we're going to talk about some of the work that she's doing in closing the digital divide and helping empower women and girls, not just overseas, but right here in America. I'm Michelle Norris with NPR's All Things Considered, and I'm here with Susan Crown of the Susan Crown Exchange, and we're going to talk about the work you're doing with women and girls, not just overseas, but right here in America. And tell me about how you're actually trying to empower girls by giving them digital skills and by really boosting their confidence. And how important are digital skills right now? They really are key in leveling the playing field, aren't they?
Absolutely. 21st century skills are very different than 19th and 18th and certainly 20th century skills. Our workforce is going to need to be able to process and curate information and handle it and create in a very different way. And we're a little out of step. Our technology and our educational resources are actually quite out of step. But what we have available in terms of technology is an incredibly powerful tool to help bring the best quality education to the largest number of kids in the United States. It's a very powerful tool to help democratize education.
So it's an access issue. And education is more easily accessible because of technology?
It's both access and it's also supply and demand. The quality of digital media product right now is sort of between education and entertainment. So we're trying to encourage innovation and edutainment, ways of capturing the highest quality digital media and getting it out to the largest number of kids. We do know a few things. One, schools are failing. And two, that kids have different learning styles, and that there are products out there that can speak or optimize the skills of different kinds of learners, kids from different backgrounds and different exposure. And we are working to create a fabulous menu of offerings for them. And the first thing that we did is we actually built a rating system with Common Sense Media. Right now there's no way to tell whether Baby Einstein is a good product or something else is a good product. And think of a new parent going into Best Buy, which do they choose? And so we've created a rating system to assess the learning potential of digital media products for parents and teachers to use.
So is actually access to the devices key also, not just the content, making sure that young people can have access to computers if they don't have them in their homes?
It's a great point. The platform question is sort of like the beta VHS platform now. We do know that the majority of kids in the United States have access to mobile devices, phones, but in terms of laptops and desktops, not so much. So mobile applications, we believe, are the key.
So go where they live, because they're always on their phones.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The average child in the United States right now spends 7.5 hours per day outside of school consuming some form of digital media. Why would it's astonishing.
Considering that they spend about 6 hours a day in school.
Yeah,
so.
but kids have multiple media coming into their brains and hearts and ears, and we believe that there's an opportunity right now for them not to be eating Cheetos, but to be eating the best apples from Whole Foods. And so that's our goal.
Is there an attempt also to build computer skills to help them into the workforce eventually, so that coding, for instance, is something that will become a core skill that they might have that will give them a leg up when they go to college and then go on to work?
Absolutely. The National Research Council has just come out with its first study of what 21st century skills will be. And it's a very different set of skills. It's not only reading, the ABCs, but it's also the DEFs. It's the digital education fundamentals. And that means that kids are going to need to be able to do systems thinking, analysis, to be able to curate and contextualize, take the input that they're getting from so many different places and turn it into something meaningful, creative. So yes, every kid who's going to enter the workforce in this century is going to need to be able to communicate in a different way, express themselves, process information, learn, and do their job really differently.
And we're not always getting that in schools. Now, I'm old enough to remember the typing class that we used to have to take
I remember
in school
that.
because they
I
thought
do.
that they were giving us a life skill that we would need. And I guess we apply that now to keyboards and to
Right.
these little teeny keyboards that we use on all these devices. But right now, you need something more than that. You really need to understand what goes on inside that device.
No question about that. And we're really at an inflection point because a portion of sort of the traditional education field is embracing technology, and it's sort of a generational thing, and a portion is kind of rejecting it vociferously because it's not been part of the traditional, it's not what they've been doing. But outside of school, there are a lot of forces teaching kids, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or World of Warcraft. Kids are learning and picking up, just absorbing massive skills in the technology field. And I mean, it's become a cliche. If there's something you can't do with your machine, ask a 12-year-old. Anyway, it's preparing them for the future. There's just no reason we can't prepare them with a little more intentiveness and a little more care and thought. We're really equipping them to handle what is going to be a very different world.
Susan Crown, thank you very much.
Thank you.